Alright, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we've got quite the fun one lined up for today. We've got some blue-black Rebecca action lined up for today's video. This is a leader I haven't spent much time on in a very long time. But I will say this, I think this leader got some pretty good support from OP10 that we're going to be checking out in today's video. So keep that in mind. This is going to be an OP10 legal version of Rebecca. We're currently in OP09 in the West, but the version we're going to be looking at today, you might have to wait till OP10 for if you're over in the West, right? Because that is available in the East, and I think we'll actually be getting OP10 in about a month from the time you're recording this video. So let's go ahead and hop into this, guys. We got a lot to go over. Let me go ahead and break down the video for you. First things first, we're going to be checking out the deck list, show you guys what we're running. After that, we got 5 games on the sim. We got a game versus, let me check real quick. Yeah, we got a game versus Red Green Smoker, Blue Doflamingo, Purple Yellow Croc, Green G Bonney, and then Purple Luffy. So we've got some decent matchups lined up for today. And I will say this, guys, I spent some time trying to figure this leader out. More so than... Let me say this. I've spent more time trying to figure this leader out than some other leaders I've covered in the past. And I think we found something pretty decent. I think we found something pretty decent with this list. Okay, and then after we're done with the 5 games on the sim, we'll hop back to the deck list, and I'll tell you guys my final thoughts on it and what I think about the list going forward, about this leader going forward. Okay? All right, guys, let's do this. Let's dive into it. I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comment section below. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below as well. Or hop on the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the channel description. Okay? All right, guys, let's do this. Let's get into it. Oh, one more thing I have to mention, guys. It is Monday at the time you're recording this. So we will be streaming tonight on YouTube from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. For those who might be new to the channel or for those who do not know, we stream now on YouTube from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Make sure to stop by there if you get bored. Come hang out with us and have a good time. Okay, now let's do this, guys. Let's dive into this video. First things first, let's check out the deck list because that is going to be pretty important. And you're going to notice something right away for my dual-colored leader here. Yes, that's right. There is only basically one color in this deck. And I'll even say like, oh no, there's 2 Cavendish, right? There's 2 Cavendish, so we're good. No, I'm actually thinking about dropping the Cavendish as well, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the video after we see the games. This character's not bad though. Let me say that right now. Cavendish is still fine, but I'm leaning towards other options, which we'll talk about later on. So let me go ahead and talk about the leader first, then we'll run through the deck list. So this is our leader. It's a 5,000 power, 5 life dual-colored leader, which is not usual, right? That's not the average. In the game of One Piece, usually only the mono-colored leaders have 5 life, and the dual-colored leaders typically only have 4 life. Well, in this case, this leader has 5,000 power, dual color, and 5 life. However, it comes with a pretty hefty drawback of this leader cannot attack. Ever. It cannot ever attack. It cannot attack into characters on the board. It cannot attack into life. It cannot attack, period. However, there are some other actions we're going to be able to combo with this leader now to rest the leader to get extra benefits, you know, through KO effects like on this Zoro we'll talk about in a moment. Okay, but then it has one other effect that is very powerful. Activate main once per turn, pay 1. So for 1 Dawn, you're going to be able to look at your, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, reveal 1 Dressrosa type card added to your hand, then trash the rest. It says trash the rest, so think about it like this. You might whiff the search and not see any Dressrosa cards, or notice it says up to 1. You might choose not to draw any of them just to fill up your trash. That is an option, okay? That is an option. So just keep that in mind whenever you're playing the deck, and if you need multiple cards in your trash, right? It actually can help in some ways, especially if you tech in a few different cards like, let me bring up Dressrosa real quick on here. If you tech in some cards that we're not running today, like Barrier, which requires you to have 15 cards in your trash, or Truna Bastardo, which gets an extra benefit from having 15 cards in the trash, or even Gum Gum King Kong Gun, right? So there's a lot of different options there. It's good to know that you don't, it says if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck and reveal up to 1 Dressrosa type card added to your hand. So you don't have to choose any. You can just fill up cards in your trash. And then likewise, if you did not see a Dressrosa card, like say you see double Gecko Moria or something like that, or a Gecko Moria and an Ice Age, okay, well they both go to the trash. So it does fill up your trash. That is nice, but it does also potentially draw you a card if you have 6 or less cards in your hand pretty much every turn, right? So that is very nice. And it helps you search a little deeper into your deck and get the answers you need. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and go through the rest. Cavendish is in here. We are running Coliseum. I think in the first 2 games, it might be just be the first game. It's the first game or the first 2 games that we're going to watch today. I was not running the core to Coliseum in there, and we changed that very quickly. It just felt too slow. But Cavendish is very strong when you have the core to Coliseum, because essentially it lets you just play down a 4-cost 6K with Rush that can attack into a character the turn it is played. Not the leader, but a character. And remember, this character cannot attack active targets. That's still not a legal target. It can only attack into rested characters on the turn it was played. Now, we are running the entire Frankie package, guys. Understand this for blue, black, Dressrosa. I mean, honestly, I should just say any type of black Dressrosa list right now, there is a new 12-card package you should really consider running. It is this Frankie, this Idio, which is just a 2-cost blocker. It's a 2-cost vanilla blocker, basically. And then also the 3-cost 2K counter Bartolomeo. These are all counter cards, which means none of them are bricks in hand. They are all blockers, and Frankie can bring back either of them on KO, which is a very, very strong defensive, resilient engine throughout the game. It is a very, very strong engine throughout your game on keeping yourself protected from early on attacks and even later attacks, right? So this card is incredible. Let me just say that right now, guys. It is a Dressrosa Straw Hat Crew type card, and it's a 4-cost 5K, 1K counter with blocker. On KO, play up to 1 cost 3 or lower Dressrosa type character rested from your trash. Now, in this list, yes, we can get back something like a one-legged toy soldier potentially, or an even better target, excuse me, would be Kairos. Kairos, remember, that is an on-play effect, and it will search. So understand how Kairos works, guys. It is an on-play if your leader is Rebecca, which our leader is Rebecca. KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less, then trash 1 card from the top of your deck. That on-play effect happens, period, okay? If your leader is Rebecca, which ours is, we're going to KO up to 1 of our opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less, and then we're going to trash 1 card from the top of our deck, period. So, in other words, even if we can't KO something, we will trash something from the top of our deck when we play this card, whether it be on our turn or whether it be on our opponent's turn from our Frankie's effect. Just understand that right away, okay, guys? All right, so with that in mind, so that's the whole Frankie plus Idio plus mainly plus Bartolomeo package. Now, we talked about Cavendish. Orlumbus is a very big deal in this deck because notice all the KO we are running. Guys, watch this. We are running a lot of removal in this deck. We're running 4 Kairos. So with Orlumbus, let's talk about all these cards with the addition of Orlumbus. We have Ice Age as well to help us out, but with Orlumbus, that's going to do -4 to the cost of a character, right? So with Orlumbus, our Kairos is popping a 5. Our Usopp is popping a 7, right? Did I do the math around that? Yeah, a 7. And then I feel like the math's not right. Yeah, this pops 1. KO's a 1 or less, so 4 plus 1's 5. Wait, no, a 6. I knew something was wrong there, guys. This pops a 2 or less, so it pops a 6. So Kairos pops a 5, Usopp pops a 6, and then Zoro pops a 8. That is massive, guys. And then with Ice Age, add 1 to everything. So it makes Kairos pop a 6, Usopp pop a 7, and then Zoro pop a 9. So the Ice Age plus Orlumbus is allowing us to pop a lot of different stuff with this Usopp, this Zoro, and this Kairos. And we're bringing any of these cards back with the Gecko Moria. Okay, so we have a lot of potential there. We do have a lot of potential there. Okay, so that's Kairos, Zoro, and Usopp, by the way. Let's go ahead and move past those. I will say one more thing about this card. This Usopp was not bad at all. In this deck, we don't care about attacking with our leader anyway, so even if we don't have the stage down, sure, we'll rest our leader and pop a 2 or less. That's basically free, right? And we can combo with one-legged toy soldiers to pop 5 or less. We can combo with Orlumbus to pop a 6, and like we said with Ice Age, pop a 7. So having access to one-legged toy soldier, Orlumbus, and Ice Age is really increasing our range with what we can KO with the Kairos, Usopp, and Zoro package. Do you guys see what's all going on there? There's like 12 card packages all over this deck. Honestly, guys, if you think about what's going on here, there's basically 3 12 card packages around this entire deck. One of them is the Frankie, Idio, and Bartolomeo blocker package. The other is the removal package of Kairos, Zoro, and Usopp. And then the last one is the cost reduction package of one-legged toy soldier, Orlumbus, and Ice Age. Okay? Now, most of everything I just said is searchable with our leader effect. Unfortunately, the Ice Age is not. Okay? Then, okay, so that's 36 cards, right? 3 different 12-card packages. Well, of course, we're still going to fit in the 4 Gecko Morias because we can bring back some very strong 2-cost, not the strongest 2-card, characters, but some decent stuff here in One-Legged Toy Soldier and Idio. But our 4-cost slot is jam-packed with good cards. We have access to the Frankie if we need defensive options, Zoro if we need offensive options, or like whatever, removal options, however you want to say that. We have Orlumbus for cost reduction. We have Usopp. We have so many different things we can pull from the trash with our Gecko Moria, even a Cavendish if we have the stage down to swing in very aggressively. So that's really nice, right? And then last but not least, we do have a little bit more defensive stuff here. Sabo's just a great utility blocker here. It's going to help us cycle through our deck a little faster. And Luffy's just a great way to take out characters on the board that are active, right? It just helps us control the board. Okay, so there's the list, guys. And now I want to show you what it looks like in action. Okay, where is the games here? We've got the first game lined up is against Red Green Smoker, okay? Like I said, guys, we've got some decent matches to go against here. Okay, let me go ahead. The volume's off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. We've got a game versus Red Green Smoker, and they are going first. I don't know. Let me say this right now. Notice this list here, guys. You do see a Kairos. That is correct. That gets removed later. I think the first 2 games, I'm not running the stage, and I'm running something else. Maybe it is the Kairos in the place of the stage, and that's going to get changed throughout the video. Okay, so here we go. We took the first hit from Smoker. We popped their Searcher with Kairos. They play out a Smoker of their own, the 5-cost 7K with Banish. We're going to aggressively counter out of this because we need to... You typically want to counter out pretty aggressively with this deck, guys. Okay, hang on. So much is happening. You typically want to aggressively counter out with this deck because you need to keep your hand size low so you can continuously use your leader's effect, filling up your trash and fixing your hand nonstop. So just keep using that. Now, real quick, I play out the... What did we play out? We played out the One-Legged Toy Soldier to -3 to their 5-cost Smoker that's in their trash now. Then we played out Usopp to trash a card, or excuse me, I think it was just to KO a card that cost 2 or less, right? So we got rid of that with Usopp, and now we're swinging in for 5. Okay, here we go. They're going to take that pretty aggressively. They have 6 cards in hand when they did that. Now they had 7 after they drew for the turn. They're going to play out okay, pause. So that's a great combo to understand and learn right there, guys. So for 3 Dawn, they played out the Nami. Well, excuse me, it's the Sanji that looks like Nami. After that, they attach 1 Dawn to the character they can't even swing with yet. But they're going to do that to stand down 2 Dawn. Or to make 2 Dawn active, so they actually, it's almost like the Sanji only cost 2 Dawn in that situation. So very nice. That was with the leader effect for Red Green Smoker. Now they go ahead and attack into my Kairos. I do just have to let it go. Unfortunately, my leader was rested from the Usopp effect, and I didn't have enough to counter out to save it. Okay, so now it's our turn. We drew an Idio for the turn. We do not have the stage in this one. Like I said, guys, that's going to be in a later version, unfortunately. But we are going to pop that Chopper there with the Zoro, slam down the Cavendish, swing in for 5 more. This Usopp's get a lot of value, guys. This Usopp has popped a character and swung twice now, right? Or maybe this is the first time it swung. But either way, it's getting a lot of value. They're going to play out the 8-cost Eustace Kid, and they do not have a way to push out any other characters. They're going to attack into my Usopp. I let it go. They swing in for 5. We take that aggressively, and here we go. What are we going to do now, guys? We really need to try to get through this Eustace Kid. How are we going to do it? We're going to -5 with an Ice Age, play out Gecko Moria, slam down our Zoro. It's going to pop that, no problem. Okay? And we're going to get a One-Legged Toy Soldier active as well. So we did it in the right order. So that way we got the One-Legged Toy Soldier out as active and the Zoro down as rested. So that way they can't get rid of our One-Legged Toy Soldier for free because it's a 0-power card. And that way we might be able to use that next turn. Now we're going to swing 6 into 4 here with the Cavendish, drawing 2. Okay, draw 2, trash 1. We're going to go 4 more into it. They do get out of it. Now we're going to use our leader effect here. Looks like we're going to grab a Kairos. I kind of like going with the 7-cost Luffy a little better there, but not a big deal. They're going to lock down our board with Doflamingo here, and then we're going to counter out for the 5K attack. They'll go 6 into there. We'll let it go. No problem. Our turn. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens next. So we don't really have a great way to get rid of this Doflamingo because we can go -3. So we're going to go 9 into 4 real quick. That card's gone. There's no way they save that. We'll use -3 here, but I don't think we can actually get rid of the card, guys, unfortunately, because so it's only at 7 right now. Kairos can only hit a 5 or less. So we have to drop it by 2 more. The only way I can drop it by 2 more in my hand is by using an Orlumbus. So it's just out of range of my Kairos, and it's also out of range with my, my blue Kairos, and then it's also outright of my black Kairos plus Orlumbus combo. So that is extremely unfortunate, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world. And it was at this point when I was doing my play testing when I decided, you know what? I don't think I like the 7 cost 9K Kairos as much now as I did before. But who knows? It might need to find its way back into the deck because it is a very strong card. Okay, we're going to play out the Orlumbus. We're just going to have to fill out the board. Notice how indecisive I am right now, guys. I'm just going to do that. Play out the 4 cost Orlumbus, play out the 4 cost Frankie, and we'll go about things that way. They're going to play out double Sanji here. That's a very strong play for next turn. They're going to swing 7 into 6. We're going to 2K counter out of that so we can't so we can save our board. We block the 10K attack. We're going to play out an a Kairos here. I actually think it might have been better to go with a blocker, but who knows? This is much more aggressive. We're going to swing for 7 into 5 to draw 2, trash 1. Yeah, I think, okay, we toss the 3 cost Kairos. They're going to use that Kamakura Jetsushi. Guys, that card is so strong. That card is so strong. We're going to swing it for 5. They're going to counter out. Okay, so in this situation here, I can probably try to go for the Doflamingo. I swing it for 5 more and they take it, and I'm starting to hit myself now, like, why did I do that? Notice I almost loaded everything up there. I want to get this Doflamingo off the board. Let me make sure we're on 2x speed, guys. Yeah, we are. I'm going to swing for 6 into 5. There goes Kamakura Jetsushi again. And now I think what we're going to do is probably just, well, I got 7 Dawn left. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I actually really like playing out the 7 cost Luffy here and just eating both of those Sanjis right now. Okay, let's see what happens. Yep, it looks like we're going to load it all up here and maybe go for the Doffy. 12 into 10. We get it, and we have enough for the Idio here. I think we should just replace maybe, yeah, just get rid of the Zoro. I'm just trying to make sure I don't get OTK'd on this turn. And look at this, guys. He is going to stand up a bunch of Dawn. He's going to swing for 7. We're going to take that. We get a Ice Age trigger to pop his guy. And then he's going to swing into my character there, swing 5 into there. He plays out the Rosinante, and here we go. He does just end the turn there. I think he was going to try to go for lethal right there. And hey, it might have worked, guys. I drew the Orlumbus for the turn, but hey, we got the trigger. Ended up saving us. We'll take it, right? Because I think he was going to probably go, let's go back real quick. So he was going to go swing 7, swing 7, swing 8, swing 9, I think it would have been. And that probably 7, 7, 8, 9 probably would have got the job done because my next life was a no counter and the next one was a 1K counter. So, man, hey, we got the trigger, though. We'll take it every single time. Good game to my opponent there. That was a close one. That was a close one. Even when I tried, but let me say this too. If people are saying like, "Oh, I should have lost that," yeah, but think about this too. The better play in this situation was actually not to go for the Doflamingo. I should have just, instead of slamming down, going for the Doffy here and then doing whatever. I should have actually just played out the Luffy and gone for the board because I could have very easily taken those cards out and then gave him another target to attack into next turn, and I can go for lethal the next turn when he only has 2 characters left on the board. So just know, yes, I definitely made a misplay there, but hey, the trigger bailed us out. We'll take it every time. Okay, next game. We got a game versus Smoker. Now we got a game versus Blue Doflamingo. This one was pretty interesting. I must say. Volume is off, speed is on 2x. Here we go, guys. They're going to play out a Buggy to start off. That's not a bad start. Yeah. They're going to set their top 3 cards. We're going to use our leader effect, and we're going to pass it right back. I'm searching for the stage, okay? I believe I did add the stage by this point. I believe I removed both Kairos and added the stage. I think that's the only difference I made in this version, guys. Okay, we are going to aggressively counter out here, fill up our trash, and get out of the range of pudding. We do not want to get hit with the pudding. We're going to play out the Zoro, fill up our trash more, popping the Mihawk, and now we've got a 6K body on the board. They're going to play out a Perona, setting their top 5. Let's see what they choose to do here. Just waiting for them to set their top 5 cards. And then they're probably going to swing in with a leader, cheat something out, and go about things that way. They'll swing in for 6 here. We have to take it. We just can't. Guys, I think I'm running like 10 to 12 2K counters. We're just not seeing them. Okay, we take both hits here. That feels absolutely terrible. Well, actually, hang on. This might be the one game before I got the stage. Maybe. Like I said, I think there were 1 or 2 games before I included the stage. So my apologies if I messed that up. He does aggressively save Jinbei. We pop his Mihawk again with our Zoro and play out a blocker. He's going to push the blocker back. Sure. He's going to swing in for 5. We're going to 1K counter out with the blocker. He's going to swing in for 6. We're going to have to take that. Very unfortunate. But here we go, guys. We're in a decent position here now where we can start really getting some value back from our trash for the board and so on and so forth. We're not in the worst position here. Okay, so I think it's time to drop a Gecko. We'll swing 6 and swing 6 and see what we can get here. He's going to 2K. He's going to 2K. Hey, he's got all the 2Ks in the world. I just got to find mine. We'll play out the Idio rested. We'll pop the Jinbei with our Zoro. We have a blocker. He's going to Gravity Blade here. He's going to be able to swing for 7. But let's see where he wants to go with this. 9 into 6. We're going to block out of that every time, and we're going to give him a 1K counter here. Unfortunately, it was the Sabo, but we have another blocker. We'll go 9 into 7. This would have taken both cards out of hand if he had it. We'll swing in for 6 here. He's going to take that happily, I'm sure, and we are probably just going to block her up. We'll do a top search, get a 2K counter. Beautiful. We got a 2K counter, guys. We'll play out the Kairos here, popping that card, play out a blocker. Yep. Play out the blocker, Frankie. I was going to say, Cavendish was not a bad idea either, to be honest, because Cavendish will let me start cycling through my hand as well. But, okay, we got the blocker here. Now we can protect our board. And now we're kind of in a position where our opponent is in a lot of trouble. They're going to play out a Boa here. Very nice. Boa is very nice here. A double Boa is even better. They're going to set their cards. They're going to swing for 7 into what? They're going to swing into my Zoro. I'm actually fine with letting this go, to be honest, guys, but I could also save and stay aggressive here. I kind of think I should have let that card go and kept a 2K counter, but that's okay. We'll swing 5 into 5. I'm daring him to turn one of those Boas sideways. Pretty please turn a Boa sideways. They do not, and we get rid of that. And now we can push things back with the Kairos here. We're going to do a top search first. We get a 2K counter. Very nice. And now I think I think we should play out the Kairos here, but it's also not a terrible idea to play out. Let's see what he does first. Swing for 9. Yep. Okay, gets a Gravity Blade. Very nice. I think he probably should have bottom decked my Frankie, to be honest. Like, that was a little bit scary. We'll see what we choose to do here. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm trying to do. It looks like I'm trying to get a Kairos play in. We're just going to pop that card, play out the Cavendish, and we got a blocker, 2 life, and 5K counter in hand. They're going to bottom deck my Cavendish there. And now they're going to swing for 6. We'll give them a 2K counter, and here we go. They're okay. They're going to swing out with their whole team here. We're going to take that. That was reckless, and that made no sense. Okay, then he messed up that attack. But whatever the case was, guys, pause. Okay, and the game's over anyway. So understand, him swinging with Boa was just the worst idea possible, right? Swinging into my Kairos might have been the actual worst idea possible, but hear me out. When they swung in the first time, I should have gave them a 2K counter immediately because I had it in hand. I had the Bartolomeo. And then when they swing for 6 again into life, that's when I should have used Frankie no matter what to get a blocker out of my trash. And then from there, we can completely gobble up the board. We could maybe even potentially start trying to go for lethal, right? Because we could actually go 6 into the Boa, 6 into the next Boa, 9 into whatever survived. We can just keep going about things that way. And then, well, yeah, and then we could even drop the Kairos, and we have the blocker from the previous turn from whatever the Frankie had. And then we'd still be on 2 life in that case. We kind of blundered that. But bear with me, guys. This is my first time playing this version of the deck. Okay, good game to my opponent there. They left a little bit early, but the writing was on the wall. They left because this was a hopeless position, or at least it would have seemed like a very hopeless position for my opponent, even with my suboptimal plays. Okay, now, next up we have a game versus Purple Yellow Croc. This is a fun one. We got a fun game versus Purple Yellow Croc in the middle here, and then we'll finish out with a game versus Green Bonney, Jory Bonney, and then Purple Luffy. Okay, so the volume is off. The speed is on 2x. This is a 16-minute game, guys. This was a long one. And here we go. They're going to come in for 6 here. We do have 2K counters. We should use them. Like I said, guys, countering out aggressively with this leader is actually a good thing. You want to counter out aggressively with this leader, so that way you can fill up your trash, you can use your leader effect more, and you can keep your life as high as you can. Life is a big deal for this deck. It helps out big time. So we're going to play out the Usopp there. We're going to pop their card. They're going to swing it for 5 with 1K counter out. They're going to play out another, I can't remember, Miss Valentine, I think. Makita, I think her name is, or something like that. They play out another one. Then they play out a Wednesday. Okay, we're not swinging into that, guys, because I do not want to give them access to ramp. If you swing into Miss Wednesday, guys, you will let them ramp a Dawn. We don't want to do that. We're not trying to do that this early on. Let's slow down the pace of the game. They're going to come in for 7 here. Okay, I'm looking at my trash right now thinking, okay, I can get back some blockers with Frankie, so we might as well maybe cash in on it now because I've got a Gecko Moria coming up here soon. We take it, a little bit greedy. It was definitely greedy. It was definitely greedy. But here we go. Let's see what we get back here. All right. So, again, I have some options here. Let's see what we choose to do. Looks like we're going to play out the one-legged toy soldier. We're going to do a top search here. Should have did that. Oh, I couldn't do that first because I had 7 cards in hand. And now we're going to go and pop hang on, let's see what we do here. Yeah, pop the one-legged toy soldier. And then subtracting the cost of a Miss Wednesday, and then playing out the Kairos to pop it. Now we're going to swing for 5 because they're already at like 7 or 8 Dawn or whatever it is, so I'm not too worried anymore. We slowed them down enough where they couldn't get down their 8 cost Crocodile on curve. So here we go. They're going to play out a Yamato, popping my Usopp. They're going to go 6 and a 5 here. I think we should save it, absolutely. And now it is our turn again. Yamato is a big problem, though. That is a big card, but we can also pop that card with our Ice Age plus Zoro combo here. Let's see what we choose to do, though. Let's see what we choose to do. Yep, looks like we're going to Ice Age here. -5 to the Yamato. We'll play out the Zoro. We're just going to play it out, hard cast it. And then we're going to swing for 5 here. I think we're going to swing for 5, and then we're going to slam down an Orlumbus for the turn. Very nice, setting up for next turn now. We're in pretty good shape, and our board's getting pretty decent, right? They're going to swing in for 5 here. We're going to take that. They're going to play out an ace. We're going to take that too. Seems good. And now it is time to get a little bit defensive. Well, excuse me. We're going to be able to stay aggressive, but we also need to get a little bit defensive as well. We need some blockers now. Well, excuse me. We do have the Frankie. It's time for us to not swing with our blockers. That might be a better way to say it, right? Okay, here we go. Let's see what we choose to do here. We are going to -4 to the cost of the Wednesday by KOing our Kairos and then cheating the KO with our Coliseum. Then we're going to rest our leader with the Usopp to get rid of the Wednesday. And now let's see what we do next. We're going to swing in for 6 here. I think we're going to go for a bunch of 6s. 6s is a pretty annoying number for our opponent. Let's see. Yep, so they're going to 2K counter out of that one. Now we're going for 8. They'll probably take this. 8's a pretty big... Okay, they give us a double 2K counter. We will take that. And we're actually just going to replace the Zoro with our Idio, guys. We're just going to replace Zoro with Idio. They're going to come in for 5 here. I think we should just let that go. Absolutely. We're not in any rush here. Give them the Idio so we can clear up a little bit of space on the board. And then we're going to block this one out too. Get a 2K counter back. Or excuse me, get the Bartolomeo back. Seems good. All right, let's see what happens next here, guys. Our board is still fine, and we can keep poking their life. We can keep annoying them with our with what we have here. We'll swing in for 5, swing in for 5 more, getting cards out of hand, getting life. We'll take it. Okay, it looks like they got a trigger. No, they did not. Okay, so here we go. It looks like we're gonna have to Ice Age here. Yep, -5 to the ace. Now we're going to get rid of. We're gonna have to KO our Usopp to pop the. We're gonna have to pop our Usopp to do -4 more to the ace. Now we're going to play out a card with our... It's unfortunate we had to go that far overboard with the cost reduction, but that was the only way to get rid of the ace in that situation there, guys. At least with the way that I chose to do that turn. So we got out the Zoro. We're going to 1K counter out of that. We're going to probably use a blocker here. Yep, we'll use that blocker to save that card. They play out their Crocodile. They're gaining a life. Guys, Purple Yellow Croc? Okay. Hey, this deck is going big. It is going super big right here. But hey, we're going to keep poking into them, swing in for 5. Let's see what they want to do here. They're going to use the effect of their Crocodile to draw 1, trash 1 at the cost of Dawn -1. We'll swing in for 6. Let's see what they choose to do here. They're going to give us a 2K counter. We swing in for, into 10, just in case they have a Oh Come My Way. Just in case they have an Oh Come My Way. They Blast Breath, plus you're the one who should disappear, I believe. We are going to -4, trashing our Zoro. We're going to play out another Gecko Moria here. And we're going to play out a Idio plus the Zoro again. We'll get rid of the Orlumbus this time, popping that card. And yeah, that's all we have left. I'll add a Dawn to that and say go. I guess I could have left it open. I added a Dawn there saying, man, I really wish the Core to Coliseum applied to my Gecko Moria because I just swung 10 into the ace to at least get 1 more card out of hand. They swing for 5. We are going to counter out in case they try to go for lethal. I don't want to risk any lethal shenanigans here. We'll block out of that when they play out Kikanojo. All right, this guy knows how to play Purple Yellow Croc, guys. This is not a new player here. We're going to swing it for 9. They do take it. They're trying to get me to bait in. They're trying to bait me into attacking with everything here, but I'm just going to swing for 7s and 9s, guys. I'm not going all in here because of events like Oh Come My Way, like that right there, making me swing 7 into 6. They gain a life back. I could try to go all in here, but should I? I honestly don't think I should, guys. I don't think it's the right call. So in this situation here, I think I should try to go into the at least try to go into the Portgosti Ace. Let's see what they have. We'll go 14. They might have another. See, another will come my way. And now we'll slam down a Frankie. We got double blocker. We have 2 life. We have a 2K counter in hand. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. All right. They're going to play out another one of these Miss Valentines, I think the name is. And let's see what they search up. Oh, I think they whiffed this. If I remember correctly, guys, I believe that's one. They whiffed one of them. I think it was their last one they played. They're going to play out a Kikanojo. Do they have any more Oh Come My Ways? We're going to 2K counter out of this, guys. And then he swings in. Here you go. Here's the Bartolomeo. Or we could let that one go, actually. Save the blocker. I like that as well. We'll let that card go. We'll swing in for 9. Actually, we'll swing 10. Oh, okay, so I've got this guy now, right? He cannot save that card. We'll go swing 10, swing 10. There goes all your life. You can have those. Watch this. Swing 7 into 2. I was down to 5 cards left in my deck, guys. I had 5 cards left in my deck, and I am going to sort my cards a little bit to make sure I don't just draw dead cards. I'm not just going to... Sometimes I'll just click a bunch of them in there if it's time to just go for OTK or you know, for the end game. But right here, we're just going to clean up his board. Now we're going to do a draw 2. Whoopsies, there goes the Gecko Moria, and now it's my opponent's turn. They get a Crocodile, not the worst card to get, to be honest. They swing in for 7. They have the Crocodile effect. They're going to be able to use that when attacking effect here to stand a Dawn as active, but it will not matter about drawing a card and trashing a card, right? Because if they draw a card, it has to go straight to the trash before they can use it. So right here, we're going to swing in for 9. Yep, I'm just reading his effect real quick. Like, yep, making sure I knew, make sure it works the way I thought it did. Okay, and now we go for 9. We probably could have tried to go for lethal, but why? Why would we go for lethal there, guys? We're just going to go for a secured lethal here. Swing for 9. They get a beige. Okay, sure. We'll do a top search here. We get the Sabo. We're sitting on double 2K counter right now. 2 blockers, 2 life. They have 1 card in hand. No, yeah, that's game, guys. At this point, it's probably worth just conceding, right? Because there's just simply no way to get out of this. Okay, so I'm doing a little bit of math here. Wherever they swing is going to get blocked, and we replace it with another blocker. That's the crazy part. We'll swing for 9. We'll swing for 9. We'll swing for whatever's left. Okay, we'll swing for 9, just in case they have another O come my way. Because if it was another O come my way, then we would have stood up the Monkey D. Luffy, attacked there, just for like 7 or whatever. They had 1 card left, just swing for 7 or 9, and then put the rest on Bartolomeo and go in that way. Good game to my opponent. That was a crazy game, man. Purple Yellow Croc's getting there, guys. Purple Yellow Croc is getting there. All right, we got 2 more games, guys. We got a game versus Jewelry Bonnie here. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Let me tell you how the mulligan works with this deck, guys. I should have just kept the Corda Coliseum there. That's what we should have done, okay? Corda Coliseum is the way to go for sure. Okay, so let's see what happens here. They play out the Baby 5. Seems good. Definitely not too bad. We actually take the Zoro here so that way we can pop whatever we need to that they play this turn. They're going to play out a Baby 5, and watch this, guys. This is a cool turn. Hey, guys, make sure you know the rulings on a card like Corda Coliseum when it comes to giving rush to your characters. So we 1K counter out of that. We're keeping our hand size low, keeping our life high. Watch this. Pause. Guys, what would you do in this situation? Pause. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. What would you do in this situation given my hand? Okay? So watch what we do here. Sequencing is a big, big deal. Big deal in this situation. Watch this, guys. I'm going to play out my Kairos before I play out my Corda Coliseum, trying to pop the Baby 5. He takes the bait, saves the Baby 5 with the effect, you know, with Rosinante's effect. Then I play down the Corda Coliseum. And now for the rest of my turn, my characters can attack. Right? My characters can attack into characters this turn. So we absolutely baited him there. That was perfect. Because otherwise we couldn't get both characters off the board. But hey, it happens, right? It happens. So now, so they're on their 5 Dawn turn. They're going to play out Cavendish, which ends up only costing like 3 in this deck because it gets to stand 2 as active. They swing it for 6. They have a Dawn as active. I do a little bit. Hey, after that immaculate sequencing last turn, we actually do a little bit of a blunder this turn. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't here. Maybe I shouldn't attack on this turn for 5 first with the Kairos. But at the same time, I don't think it would have hurt that much. They're at 5 cards in hand. It's hard to say. There's an argument both ways. But guys, watch this. We are absolutely getting this card off the board. They are not getting even a single turn with that Cavendish, even if I have to use an Ice Age. I'm going to use the Ice Age here, and I had to do it in that order. Otherwise, so I couldn't do the search first with Rebecca because I had 7 cards in hand. So be Ice Age first, do the Rebecca search, play out the Zoro, pop his card. So right here, I still probably could swing for 5 and it wouldn't matter. It's like, do you want to swing into my 6K body? Because that's going to be much easier for me to defend. But I end up not attacking here. Whatever the case is, I end up not attacking here. Okay, here we go. So they are down. They still only have 6 cards in hand, guys. So let's see what they choose to do here. They're going to attach 2 Dawn. Okay, 3 Dawn to their leader. 4 Dawn. Swing in for 9. Okay, I'm going to take that. Yep, I'm going to take that every single time. They're going to play out a Rosinante, and 1 Dawn is active. Okay, well, let's go ahead and swing in first here, right? Let's get the show going, right? Let's see what they got. We'll swing in for 6. They're going to rest down my Kairos. Obviously, they're going to they're going to take a life. We are going to slam down a Gecko Moria right on curve, playing out a 1-legged toy soldier is active. Play out an Usopp or a Zoro. We're going to play out the Zoro because it's a bigger character. We'll talk about Usopp and Zoro in a minute, guys, because I will say this, Zoro is just pretty much strictly better, but he does not have a 1K counter, so they both have their place still. If you're wondering, like, why play both of them, well, number 1, it gives you more access to more removal, and number 2, one of them has a 1K counter, so it's still a little bit different. So we do pop the Zoro, the Rosinante there with the Zoro, fill up some more cards in our trash, and here we go. They're going to play out a Zoro, a 9-cost Zoro. Swinging for 5, no reason to take this. Here we go, guys. This is where you can use the Usopp as a 1K counter. Seems good. Seems really, really good. And in this situation here, guys, what would you do? I already have a 1-legged toy soldier on the board. We're going to -3 to this card. We're going to swing all out right here first. He doesn't know what I'm about to do. Hey, am I bluffing removal, or do I really have removal, guys? Swing for 5. Excuse me. Swing for 6, and then I think we swing for 7, swing for 9. Yep, swing for 7, swing for 9. And now we are actually going to have a 9 Dawn play here where we play out this card here. We're going to KO our Zoro because we have to clear up room on the board. And then we're going to pop that with the Usopp. And we're going to do a top search at the end there with our leader, right? Is that what that was? Hang on one second. Yep, use our leader effect. Get a blocker. Guys, that turn was sweet. That turn felt good, guys. That's where this deck is right now, I think. And that's how you should be playing it. We'll talk more about it towards the end. But that is what feels really strong for this deck, is having tons and tons of removal. They're going to play out a 8-cost Rosinante, an 8-cost Eustace Kid, cheating out Tashigi. That complicates things. That's actually very annoying. That's actually very, very annoying. Let's see how we're going to go about this, guys. Remember, they can rest one of my characters. They can rest a single character with their leader effect this turn. How do we want to even do this? How do we even want to do this, guys? Let's see. So right here, I'm really thinking about going 12 into the... I'm really thinking about going 12. We're going to talk about this after I line up. I go 12 into 8. They're going to rest down my Zoro, obviously. It's the biggest target. And now watch what they do. They're going to counter out. I'm going to explain what I should have done here. Okay. Just waiting for my opponent to counter out. They give me a 0-cost 3K and a 2K counter. Very nice. Okay, pause. So the game is paused. Here's what we should have done here, in my personal opinion. I should have loaded everything on. So honestly, 3 more Dawn on my my guy. Swing 15 into 8. He might have still gotten out of it. I don't know. Probably not, by the way. But I should have swung 15 into 8 there, and then just slammed down my Zoro on top of the Zoro we knew he was going to rest. We knew he was going to rest a character, and it was more than likely going to be Zoro because that's my biggest target. So I should have just swung for 15 into 8 because he does not have a blocker, and then whatever character he rests, literally just use my Zoro to pop the Tashigi. So then his board is clear. We replace the card that got rested, so we get full value from that slot on the board, and then we can still swing for 5, 5, 5. Your turn. Right, so in that case, maybe we should have swung for 14, and then we could have used the leader's effect at the very end. You guys see what I'm saying? That would have been a slightly more optimal play in my personal opinion. But hey, that's why we do play testing. That's why we do these videos to, to figure it out. But here we go. We have another play as well. Watch this, guys. Okay, well, how's about this? Why don't I just swing for all the rest into your guy? Swing for 10 into your guy here, or 8s and 8s. It depends. We'll swing in for 8. He counters out, and then we can swing in for 9. Here we go. Swinging for 9. Is his last card a 2K counter? It'd be unbelievable if it was. To be honest, that would have been unbelievable if it was. And here we go. It was not, so that card's gone. We have 3 life. He plays out another Zoro, but hey, hang on. Nope. Yeah, right here, we can counter. We can go for lethal, guys. So, okay, pause. Let's talk about math. Guys, do the math real quick. Pause. I've already paused it. Do the math. Can we go for lethal this turn? He is going to... One of our guys is getting rested, obviously. Right? One dude's getting rested. Oh, well. He has 1 card in hand. So we're going to swing for 9 first with Gecko, because otherwise that's the card that's getting rested, right? We'll just get the free 9K in. That's going through no matter what without a single Dawn investment. He's going to rest down our 6K Zoro, and now we still have 10 Dawn, and he will then have 2 cards in hand. He has to take it. He can't get out of a 9K attack with 1 card and no Dawn. So, okay, now we still have 3 attacks, and he only has 1 card left in his life. We can just swing for 9, swing 11, right? And that's going to be a calculated, whoops, that will be calculated lethal. There's nothing he can do to get out of it. GG to my opponent. I guess unless there's a trigger to rest a character, maybe that will do. But here's the crazy part. We haven't invested any Dawn yet. We can still get rid of that Zoro if we have to, right, guys? We can actually get rid of that Zoro. We can use Orlumbus. Okay, well, not anymore. Now we couldn't. So we had to hope that everything went through there. It did. GG. The only thing that could have stopped him was, or the only thing that could have stopped us right there is some way for him to rest our characters down with like a trigger effect or something. Good game to my opponent, guys. I know green has traditionally struggled with black. And, guys, with this kind of pool here where we are just eating their board, we're eating it up every single turn. Not too bad. All right, we got one more game. We got a game versus Purple Luffy. Okay, here we go. Excuse me. Speed is on 2x, and here we go, guys. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x. We're going against Purple Luffy. And, guys, Purple Luffy kind of takes his life for us, right? So we actually... Our leader effect is not exactly terrible in this situation, right? We don't have to attack in. It'd be nice if we could, but he does take his own life aggressively to ramp. Okay, here we go. They're going to take their own life, play out a Kamazo. We're going to counter out aggressively against Purple Luffy because they go very big. But here we go. We're going to play out the Zoro, pop the Kamazo guy there, the Hitakiri Kamazo. And his turn. Seems good for us, guys. Seems pretty good. Let's see what they choose to do next. They're taking their own life. Like I said, play out a Luffy Taro into an Onami. Okay, that's unfortunate for them. They do not get the effect of the Onami. They did not get a good pull, apparently. They're going to swing in for 5 here. Do we take this? We're going to take it. I liked the cards I had in my hand a little too much to part with them. I did not want to get rid of those cards. We have an Ice Age to just get rid of this Luffy Taro, and I think we should. Let's keep their board as low to the ground as possible for as long as we can. We're going to Ice Age Luffy Taro. We're going to slam down the Usopp, popping the 2-cost, you know, what was now a 2-cost character, and we're going to use the effect there and pass the turn. Okay, let's see what happens now. And we have another Zoro in hand, guys. We do have an Orlumbus. We can combo with it next turn if we need to. We're in a very good position here. They're going to play out a Beckman. Okay, they're going to, or excuse me, a Beckman, excuse me. A Mr. 2, well, I can't think of his name. Bentham, Mr. Bentham. Beckman, Bentham, same thing, right? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, they play out a Bentham. They play out a Zoro Juro. They're going to go 5 into 5 here. We need to get out of this one. I'm going to use a 2K counter there. I'd rather keep the Orlumbus in hand in case we need to pop the big targets later in the game. Because, guys, double Orlumbus plus my Usopp or my Zoro pops any character in the game. That's popping a 10 or a 12. So, okay, coming in for 5, coming in for 6. We're just eating up their hand, eating up their board. We'll take it. Now we're going to play this out. We're going to pop the Zoro, and then we're going to play out the Frankie. We've got a blocker. Our board is disgusting right now, to be honest. It's not like crazy or anything, but this is a very good hand for us, guys. Or, excuse me, a very good board for us. They really need to start going for the board, in my opinion. Because I have 4 life. If you start going for my life, I'm just going to take, right? I'm just going to take and then gain a life. Here we go. He didn't, yeah. So he went for life with the first hit. Now he's going for life with the second. I'll go ahead and cash in on the blocker. Now we have a free blocker, the Bartolomeo. I'm considering the one-legged toy soldier. That was a very tempting idea there because that could have done some things as well. Looking back, it might have been the better call. But right here, guys, I'm pretty sure we're going to establish the Orlumbus, but we're probably going to do all of our attacks first. Use an effect so we can do a top 2 search with our leader here. We're going to grab a blocker and a 1K counter. So here we go. Let's see what we choose to do here. We're going to swing for 5. Watch this, guys. Watch this. We're going to swing for 5. Let's see what this gets from them. They're going to take. We're going to swing for 6. I'm sure they have a Gum Gum Giant in hand. We're not going for lethal. We're just eating cards from hand, eating cards from their life. They're going to use a Gum Gum Giant. They're going to get out of that attack. That's fine. We're going to play an Orlumbus. Now we're going to pop the Usopp there to -4. Hang on. -4 to the Sangoro, and then we're playing out the Kairos to pop a 1 or less, which was the Sangoro after the -4 from the Orlumbus when we trashed our own, when we KO'd our own guy, and now we're going 5 into 1. There's no way he's saving that card. We have eaten up his board. We have 2K counter in hand and a bunch of 1Ks. We have 3 life. We have 1 blocker. We are in a very good position here, guys. We're in a very, very strong position. They're going to play out a Charlotte Linlin. That's not the worst thing in the world, that's for sure. What are they going to put to life? I'm sorry, that's not the right call in my personal opinion. I think the right call would have been Orlumbus because that is going to help do a lot more for you. Right here, we can counter out of, excuse me, guys, Do you know how long... Guys, hang on. Guys, did y'all see what just happened there? Watch again. Swinging 6 into my Kairos with my leader and my stage active. It happens, okay? It does happen, but understand how this... Guys, please make sure you read what my leader does and what Kairos does. It cannot be KO'd, guys. It cannot be KO'd when I have these cards on the board. Ugh, man. All right, so they're going to probably swing 8 to 6 here. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think they just leave in this situation here. Sometimes people get upset about play mistakes. I do too. I get very annoyed by them. But that... Okay, so let's just explain how things should have gone here. They should have swung 5 into my leader with their leader because they have Gum Gum Giant in hand. Okay, guys? So hear me out. This is how this turn should have gone. They should have swung 4-5 into my leader. I'm going to give them a 1K counter Usopp or a 1K counter Idio. Period. That's how that was going to go. Okay? Then they should swing 8 into my Zoro. Okay? And that's where I would have used my blocker because they should have top decked my Orlumbus. Or excuse me, they should have bottom liked my Orlumbus, not my blocker. Okay? Now, after that, then from there, we're actually just going to swing at their face, by the way, guys. I think we're just going to go face, face, face. And then we're going to play out our Orlumbus. We're going to do a search with Rebecca. That's going to really determine what happens next with our Orlumbus plus Usopp play. Because if I can get them down, if I can get the Luffy down in range, I will pop that card, right? But otherwise, in the play they did here, if they did not remove, if they swung 8 into my 6K, I would have just actually let that go if they did it in the way they did it here where they pushed my blocker back. And if I have a second Orlumbus on the board, I can use my Kairos with my stage and my leader to go -8 to the Lin and just pop that thing. And then everything else goes at face. So it really comes down to like my opponent is in large copious amounts of trouble, right? Just insane amounts of trouble in this point. Good game to my opponent, though. Yes, the Gum Gum Giants would have definitely kept them in the game for a little bit longer, but I don't think with how much I'm piling on the board at a time, they kind of missed their window to rush me down, and I think that's what they should have tried to do, guys. I think that's what they should have tried to do, because that Orlumbus plus all the removal I'm running is going to eat their hand every single turn for the rest of the game. Good game to my opponent. Those were some awesome games, right, guys? Those were some really, really fun games. Now, let's go ahead and check out the deck list one more time, because I do want to tell you guys what my findings were after testing it. Okay, and for this, I can make my camera a little bit bigger. So, what I figured out was Soppa was okay, but it actually wasn't really that great at all. Cavendish, same thing. I think this is just a nice card. I don't know the word for it, guys. It wasn't great. I'm going to be honest. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't great, if that makes sense. So with that in mind, this card is probably a card that we can just completely cancel. I think the 36 card package we talked about earlier. So remember, guys, the 12 blockers, the 12 cost reducers, and the 12 ways to pop our opponent's characters, like the removal, and then probably the 4 Gecko Moria. Yeah, we're sitting pretty with that, guys. We're feeling really, really good about that. Now, some other cards to consider that I have been considering, but I haven't tried in this version of the deck yet, is maybe just straight up Rebecca. Because in this deck, guys, remember, we are running Kairos. The Rebecca-Kairos combo was something, that was always something, right? That was always something good. So Rebecca might be worth running in here, especially considering that we're not running the one-cost Rebecca Searcher, so we won't even search over it. We won't even search over the card. With that in mind, I'm just going to kind of mess with this for the time being, guys. Let's get rid of the Sabo. Let's get rid of the Cavendish. And I'm even thinking going up to 4 Rebecca is probably a good way forward with the deck. Because we can grab back 2K counters like Bartolomeo. We can even grab back insane blockers like Frankie. That's just, imagine that, guys. So we play out Rebecca, right? Pulling a Frankie out of our trash, playing out a Kairos, or an Idio, whatever. We could choose whatever. And then play out the Frankie we just pulled back. That's an 8 Dawn turn right there, guys. So for 8 Dawn with Rebecca plus Frankie, we still have 2 Dawn left. So we can actually go Ice Age on their character first. So pull back, play out Rebecca, pulling a Frankie out of trash, cheating out the Kairos from our hand with the second part of Rebecca's effect. And now we're popping a 6 or less. Even more than that if we have an Orlumbus on the board, right? And then we're also going to follow up with a Frankie, and then we're going to draw a card with our leader effect at the end of the turn. So, you know, that's just with the final Dawn, right, guys? You guys see what I'm saying? I think there is something to be said there. I think this is pretty decent right here. The Luffy is more important than you might imagine in this deck, guys. I almost milled myself the game against Purple Yellow Croc. You know, on top of that, though, I will say this. Maybe there is some idea maybe there is some idea to mess around with Rob Lucci. Because we can just keep getting this card back. And we're running a ton of cost reduction in here. Guys, you saw what we were doing. 4 Orlumbus, 4 Ice Age, 4 One-Legged Toy Soldiers. And we are not afraid to pull on any of these cards early on. Guys, Ice Age and One-Legged Toy Soldier, use them right away. If it will help you clear the board, just use it immediately. Just simply use it immediately. Because here's the idea behind that, is with our Ice Age and our One-Legged Toy Soldiers here, those are like our early game cost reduction. Our late game cost reduction is Orlumbus. Orlumbus is insane in what we're trying to do here. It is actually very, very good, okay? This card is insane. So there is something to be said there, and we can bring back One-Legged Toy Soldiers with our Gecko Moria, and then Ice Age we can start putting on the bottom of our deck if we do keep Monkey D. Luffy, or if we start running these Rob Lucci's. Remember, guys, Rob Lucci, the 4-cost 6K, he says place 3 cards from your trash on the bottom of your deck in any order and then pop a 2 and a 1. But here's the thing. He doesn't care what the kind of card is. For example, what am I talking about? Notice Kaku here. This is an on-play that says you may place 2 cards with a type including CP from your trash on the bottom of your deck in any order, and they do a -3 cost for the turn. So this card would not be good in what we're doing because we have no targets for it, no good targets, right? Rob Lucci doesn't care. Rob Lucci doesn't care if you're pulling back a Dressrosa card to the bottom of your deck, or this card, or that card, or whatever card. It just doesn't care. So this is actually a really nice card to include in the deck, potentially, in the place of maybe 2 Luffys. Another card that I was really considering in the 7-cost spot was actually a Jack. With all the cost reduction we have, guys, like I keep talking about it because we have so much cost reduction. There is so much cost reduction in this deck, guys. Jack is probably not the worst thing in the world. But at the same time, like I said, I really can't stress this enough. I almost ran out of cards in my deck the game against Purple Yellow Croc. Now, who knows? Maybe I need to play more carefully. But guys, with cards like Usopp here, with cards like Usopp and Zoro and Kairos, these cards are trashing like crazy, okay? This trashes 2 cards from the top of your deck. This trashes 2 cards after that trash. This one trashes 1 card from the top of your deck. This trashes a card from the top of your deck. Every time you use Orlumbus, you trash 2 cards from the top of your deck, guys. So you are trashing cards like an absolute madman. Remember, your leader effect is as well. So you have to be very careful with that. With that in mind, another card we can absolutely consider in this kind of deck would be the 1-cost Tempest Kick. Why don't I see it? Here it is. We are filling our trash up very consistently, okay? Now, here's the thing. Yes, this is another card we can potentially search over with Rebecca. Gecko Moria and Ice Age are going straight to the trash every time we use this search if they're in there, because we physically cannot do it. We cannot search them up. They're not Dressrosa. Tempest Kick would be another card like that. However, I do want to say this about Tempest Kick. Once we get to the 10 cards in our trash area, well, now we have a -3 cost reducer, which is obviously not bad, right? That's obviously not that bad. What else do I want to say? Okay, and after looking at this, guys, we are only running 8 2K counters, so that's another thing we might want to consider going forward, is maybe going up our 2K counter count. That is definitely a real consideration. As far as 2K counters go, by the way, let me add the blue cards to it as well. We do have some Dressrosa cards that we can, some 2K counters we can get for Dressrosa. It is Usi here, U-C-Y, Usi, however you say that. This is a 2-cost, 2,000 power 2K counter. On play, rest up to 1 of your Dressrosa type leaders or stages, and then up to 1 of your Luffy's gain banished until the end of turn. So this would be a good combo with our Luffy if we choose to keep this. This new Sabo is really good as well. If one of your characters other than Sabo with an original cost of 7 or lower would be removed from the board by your opponent's effect, you may instead return this character to your hand. So in other words, this is going to protect our other cards on the field. It doesn't matter what color they are. Like, the 3-cost green Tashigi, it only protects other green cards, right? But this card can pop anything that costs 7 or lower. It doesn't matter what color it is. Gats, however you say this guy's name. This card, 1 cost, 1,000 power, 2K counter. On play, up to 1 of your characters with Dressrosa type may attack opponent's active characters this turn. This was always a go-to in the deck before. It's worth trying again. You can definitely mess with it again. What else? I think that might be it for the Dressrosa options. Oh, actually, here's another one. So this was a new card. This is a new card coming out in OP10. It's a 2-cost, 0 power, 2K counter. This is an activate main. You may rest this character and 1 of your leader or stages with the Dressrosa type. Give up to 1 of your opponent's characters, cost -2 for the turn. I actually like that, guys. I had not considered this card when I was putting the deck together. This is definitely a worthy consideration in the deck. this is definitely a worthy consideration in the list. Now, it is hard to pull off because, hey, guys, your removal is stuff like Zoro or Usopp typically, where you also have to rest a stage row leader. So unless you have the stage down, you're probably not going to be able to do what we're just talking about, what we were just talking about. But yeah, that's probably about it, guys, as far as the Dressrosa 2K counters. There's a lot of good options there. There's also just good 2K counters you can run as well. Like, in my personal opinion, Khalifa's always just going to be a good 2K counter. Suru, where's Suru at? Suru will just always be a good 2K counter. And in this list, you don't care if it goes straight to your trash unless you're searching for a 2K counter. That would feel bad. But we don't really care if this goes to trash because that will actually, Suru's probably the best option here, even over this Momonosuke, because that gives us a really good on-play 2K counter from the trash, on-play 2K counter that's also 2 cost or lower and is giving cost reduction with our Gecko Moria plus Zoro. That will allow us to hit a 6 or less, and then if we have or lumps on the board already, we're popping a 10 from the trash. So there might be some merit there, guys. There might be something pretty decent there. Okay, what else? That's probably about it, to be honest, guys. That's probably about it for the 2K counter options. One more card that I did want to mention that was in my mind that I really thought would be cool. There's 2 of them. You know, we were running Sabo at first, but I think this Trafalgar Law would be really cool because it's a 5 cost 6K, 1K counter blocker. It's already very good, and Dressrosa, so it's searchable. And then it has on play, you may return 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, and then draw a card, or if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, they have to discard a card. So this card would actually probably be very nice in the deck. It'll help us put cards back on the bottom of our deck so we can get to those faster again, you know, all that good stuff. And if you can combo that with the Luffy, then you might be onto something. But that 5 cost spot in this deck is not attractive, guys. There was one other 5 cost, the Cavendish from all the way back in OP04. This Cavendish is pretty good too, guys. Dawn ×1 and we're attacking active characters. It's a 5 cost 6K that has when attacking, you may rest your leader and KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less, then trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. This is also a very good possibility in the deck, guys. Being able to attack into their active stuff is very good. That is very strong. Okay, and that's probably about it. There might be a few other things here to look for. Xin Zhao, this is a Dressrosa card here. This Hakuba, there's some options here as well. But yeah, that's about all I got for you guys today. I think that's about it. Yeah, probably not this. Yeah, guys, we're going to end it there. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Well, guys, this was a really fun video to put together. This was a very fun video to make. This leader, it played a lot better than I thought when I went to the all-black package. I know it's nice when you can run 2 different colors in the dual colored leaders. But, guys, one thing I've noticed, tell me what y'all think in the comment section below, but I feel like having the dual colors almost doesn't even matter sometimes, and I wish they would give all dual color leaders 5 life and then rebalance their kit around that. Like, reprint them in future sets where they have 5 life and just tone their kit down a little bit. And they should be able to attack as well. Like in the case of Rebecca here, I just don't get it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to complain too much about that. I know some people feel very strongly about that in the opposite direction, and that's fine. Some people are indifferent, but whatever. It's just one of those things where it's like, this is just a mono black deck. So yeah, the leader effect is very strong, but I'm just removing every character they play and then just winning through pure control. So whether my leader can attack or not almost doesn't even matter in that situation. I mean, it does matter. I wish it could attack, but hopefully you guys know what I'm saying. All right, I'm done. I'm just ranting at this point. All right, guys, hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Let me go ahead and put on the outro page here. There we go. All right. There we are. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys. Hey, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, using my affiliate link, hey, whether you're supporting me through a Patreon, PayPal, donations, buying the playmat, becoming a YouTube member, joining the Discord community, whatever you're doing to help me out, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all so much. All right, I'm going to end it there. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. We will be streaming tonight from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Okay, we do that every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday now. Come hang out. Come stop by. We'll probably be messing with some more Rebecca tonight. Okay? All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time. Peace.